What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler.
And I'm Luke.
And this is episode 14 of Holy Heck, I Really Like Love Live, our podcast where we analyze every single Love Live song from the beginning until now, give our thoughts, give our opinions, and yeah, go from there. So last time, we talked about the first OP and the first ED and their side songs with EJ. That was a fun episode. And today, before we go into questions, we do want to keep the questions a little bit short because this episode is going to be a long boy if we don't get through all this. We're going to be talking about the first 7 episodes of Love Live, is that right?
Yeah, the first 7 episodes of season 1 and the 3 songs that play throughout it.
Mm-hmm. So for questions, we have one from. The question was, what was the song that kind of got you into Love Live? The first one is from Mini Ninja Marco, who says, "My first song was Shocking Party. I was looking for anime dances on YouTube and it popped up in my recommended list. At first I thought Arise were the main characters since Muse was off to the side watching. I wanted to put this comment in just because of that, and I almost have nothing to say about it, but I just thought it was really funny."
That's a pretty funny way to be introduced to the series with the rival school. Our second answer that we got was from our boy Styx, always showing up strong. He talked about how Start Dash kind of introduced him to it because his brother found it and listened to it a bunch. He put it on, and he was like, "Hey, this sounds pretty good. What is this from?" And that's kind of how he got into it. And I mean, yeah, we're talking about that song today. It's a good song. It's a good first boy song.
Styx's life has gone downhill ever since.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do kind of want to hop into this episode with that. Okay. One last detour. We have a bonus episode coming out Saturday, and you might be thinking, "Oh my, like two bonus episodes in 1 week." This is very important.
There's a big boy live stream yesterday, and we really want to talk about what happened in it. There's a lot of information that came out, so we really want to talk about it with you guys to get that over with, rather than wait half a week almost. We'd rather just get that out right now, so we're also recording that tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. I really recommend going and finding and watching that live stream. That was something else. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've all probably seen the announcements by now, like, through osmosis or scrolling through Facebook or Twitter. But like, man, that was some reveal, dude. So you want to just hop into this episode discussion here? You want to just start with episode 1 and we'll just go from there? We'll kind of just like talk about songs as we get to them,
Yeah. So episode 1, we got our girl, The Honks. And I think it kind of starts out. They started out singing the first song that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, Susume Tomorrow. And then it kind of jumps to she gets in a terrible car accident, and then the rest of the series is the dream. Oh,
that's another conspiracy theory. Yeah. How Honoka just gets run over by a semi, and just Love Live is all in her brain as she's like in the hospital. Well, that was dark.
So I'm sure most of you have seen the first season of Love Live, and the first episode really wraps up what the plot's going to be really well, at least for the first season. School is in a financial crisis. Before we go further, like I just realized that comment totally came out of left field. It's like in the beginning, for reference, like she just runs out into the middle of the road. That like we didn't just like hope she gets run over by a car. Like no, we didn't hope because she did.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, so we got the first episode. School's in a crisis. Nobody's going to it, so they ain't got no money. And Koto mom's like, "Hey guys, no school. Sorry, boys." And really, I love how the entire story of the series, where Honoka really wants to save the school, kind of it all starts because she thinks she's gonna have to like take tests to get into another school, and that kind of that's her original. Great. That's her original spur on.
We have to financially save. We have to go through like mountains of work, just wear our bodies down completely, so I don't have to take another entrance exam.
Now,
that is the concept of this show.
Granted, almost immediately, like Honoka and Kotori kind of tell her, "Hey, it's fine. You don't actually. We're gonna get to graduate before they close the school." But really, like, it's pretty funny that was so close to being like the entire push, and maybe is the beginning of her push to want to save the school.
Aquas exists because Honoka was lazy and didn't want to take an entry. Dude, our lives have been at a downward spiral because of this lazy Japanese high school student. Can you believe this?
Yeah. And so they go around trying to figure out how to save the school, and the only obvious answer is to become school idols. I think she sees Arise,
yeah.
Yeah, Arise being played in front of UTX.
And Private Wars, yeah.
She's like, duh, this is the only logical thing to do.
It's so funny how one of the first songs we see in the whole show isn't actually a Muse song, it's Private Wars.
Yeah, you see a little bit of Susume Tomorrow. Come on.
I'm pretty. Is Private Wars is first? Isn't it?
No, you see that little time right before she gets in the car accident.
Right before she has a horrible traumatic event. Yeah,
life-ending event.
Private Wars gets played. That song is we'll get there.
Pretty sure we get the Umi Onegai in this episode also.
Yeah, Umi is pushing against it. She's like proto Rico, I guess.
Yeah, proto Rico. But
standard practice of getting rejected by the class press.
Yeah.
This begins our tradition of getting rejected. This happens multiple times.
Yeah, and by the end of the episode, Umi's back in it. She sees the honks doing a dumb little dance and falling on her face, being an idiot, and holding the honk butt. And then they're back in it, and then they start singing the song at the beginning again and get in another terrible car accident.
Episode 2.
Well, song.
Oh. Hey, yeah, Susume Tomorrow. All right, play that.
Susume Tomorrow.
'So full disclosure, if there's anything to be said, it's that the quality of songs, of show songs in particular, has increased massively since the first few. Right?
I feel like the show songs in season 1 are kind of like weird. I feel like they really wanted to push out a lot of content, and they did, because like they do the same song twice, pretty much the same song twice, which we'll get to. And I feel like they wanted to push out a lot of content really quickly. They hadn't pushed out content this quickly, or at least full unit content. So I think kind of the quality drops. It gets I don't want to say generic, but you could, I guess, say generic. Some of the songs get kind of generic. Yeah, and personally, like, I'm not a huge fan of the season 1. There's one that I'm just like, woo, it's good. But season 1 show songs for me are kind of rough at times. And this song has its highlights though.
Everything but the verse is the highlight, and the fact that the verse is not the highlight is the reason that both Luke and I are very not too into this song. So let's paint a picture.
I just took like 4 years. A couple days ago, I took about 4 years to do this song sorter, and you had to answer like 650 questions almost. And Susume Tomorrow ended up in like my bottom 5. So. But the show definitely has its like highlights, which not a lot of songs in my bottom 5 do.
You're very polite for this podcast. You're like, it's just not something I'm into. Like, meanwhile, before it was like, man, this song, like, man.
Dude, come on, man. It's got its highlights.
Okay, so let's paint a picture. Okay, so it starts out with a very very nice slow intro. Like, okay, cool intro. and then let's go, and then it gets hype, and then there's horns and everything. It's like, you know, the drums start, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be a hype song, it's gonna be great. And then the verse starts, and it's just slow.
It's so weirdly slow. It's so slow. Maybe like that's all that Haneka's brain can like think of while she's in this coma. But it's super weird. She can only get up to enough energy to like go faster at certain parts, but
she can only have a high BPM for like a certain a certain amount of time. So okay, we see stuff like this in Love Live all the time, but it's not the first chorus right after the intro. It's usually hype, and then it's like, okay, something like Angelic Angel, for example. Right after the first chorus, it goes completely silent and it's completely a cappella, right? Where they go, Boku tachi wa zuto, and then it starts up again, and like that's cool, right? And like we've seen like weird stuff where it gets slow in the second verse, and like, you know, picks up again, but to just be both verses, it's just so like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the song's got like a really fun chorus, but overall, I think the biggest weakness of the song is the backing is just so lackluster. There's just such little going on in the backing, which is something that I always love about Love Live, is how much there can be going on. And there's almost nothing going on in the backing of this song.
And it's like, I always talk about how much I like plucked strings, right? And there are plucked strings in the verse, and that's cool. But it's not cool when they're just like there, when they're not supposed to be, you know? Like, I mean, compositionally, like I just feel like it just shouldn't get so slow there. Like, for example, in a song like Koku Hakabiori Des, in the pre-chorus, like it's really hype. It's like the energy is still there, and there's plucked strings, and it only adds to it. But like having an instrument I like in a verse that I don't really like at all, it's just like it's almost like it just nullifies it, you know?
Yeah, and I think my favorite part about the song, and this is kind of an issue of this is controversial, but we're going into, I like the school outfits. I love the school outfits for
it's controversial
outfits. That a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
Really?
Yeah. So especially for like performing, I've seen a lot of people that don't like it. So I think it's pretty polarizing. Like whether you.
Well,
like
I get that it's like not as profound as the other outfits, but like that's the whole point of the show. They're school idols. It's not like Idolmaster where it's like professional. You know, like that's like the whole like roots of the show.
So like when they do start the big boy start dash at the end of season 1. Or when they're or like Future Style in the movie, like I'm a big fan of that outfit. And when they did Future Style at the final live, that's a whole different thing. So like I'm a big fan of that outfit, and I'm a fan how in Haneka's coma she like puts a flower in everybody's hair. So
yeah, she's very courteous in her coma.
Very nice lady.
If there is something to be said though, I do like the 15-second reggae break during the second verse. I think that's really unique. I think that's really cool. But then it goes away in favor of the original slow melody, and I don't like it anymore. And make it stop, please. Like
it also like ends very strangely. Yes. Like you think it has a very good like cutoff point for ending.
Yes,
and then there's like 15, 20 more.
It just like ends, and then it's like, all right, that was perfect. And then it's like, let's go, boom, boom, boom. Like again, it's like that's unnecessary. Like why is that a thing? Like it's just I don't like it.
And the best highlight of the show is the back-breaking turn that they do during the chorus. I love it. That's the real highlight.
Something to be said. No, I'm gonna actually say that during Start Dash. Yeah, we'll get there. But it's about like the fact that they're three peeps. But other than that, like, yeah, I feel like the song has a lot of potential. But like, Luke, I always forget. Is the middle of the song? No. If the song has a bad beginning, then the song is over, right? The song is over. GG.
Yeah, that's like I can't do bad beginnings, but even if like it's got a bad middle, I still can't do it. You know?
Yeah. Because I know we're opposites. Like I can get past the bad beginning; it doesn't bother me if the rest of the song is good. But like a bad middle, just is just the worst, and I hate it. So
I don't like either. Whoops.
I always feel bad saying stuff like this. Like I just imagine like someone follows us and like, I can't wait for them to talk about Susume Tomorrow, and like we gotta like this song sucks. Hey, put an umi
trucking.
Yeah.
No, I mean the song's got its highlights. It's got its definite highlights, but it just doesn't have enough of those, which is something that I think the show songs do miss. And I think the biggest reason they miss those highlights so often is because they were made to be for the show to be such short versions, and then they probably tacked on the rest of it after they made the show version. That's kind of what I feel like, but who knows? We'll never know.
Episode 2 is Let's Start Becoming Idols. And as the episode implies, they start becoming idols.
Yeah, in Hanukkah's fever dream, things are going pretty well.
Yeah, things are going pretty well. She manages to convince Kodo Mom and is Ellie involved? That to get permission to use the auditorium.
I think Nozomi really like pushes to give them permission. She's like, "Oh, what's the problem with them having the thing?" And Ellie's just like, "Ah."
And Umi, being the Debbie Downer, is like, "Oh, we're not gonna be ready. Everything's gonna be bad. Look at this. We're not gonna be ready." And like, meanwhile, they're all like already professional level dancers when Start Dash happens. Like, I don't know if we can do this, and then they're already making millions.
Yeah, and the big parts of the show, you know, they're working really hard. Kotori's making the outfits, Umi's writing the lyrics, and they kind of look around. They're like, "Who's making the song?"
Yeah, and Hanukkah's doing nothing.
Yeah, well, no, Hanukkah's going around bothering Maki.
Hanukkah is bothering Maki.
She's just running around bothering Maki, and Maki's like, Can
we talk about the 3-second Aishido Banzai? Big fan.
Yeah, no, I like that show. I like that acapella.
I like that show. Yeah, I like Love Live.
Yeah, I like the Love Live. So eventually, like, Hanukkah just bugs Maki enough where she's just like, "Yeah, okay, I'll listen to the song, but I'm not gonna write the lyrics. Please just leave me alone." And then what do they find in the mail the next day?
Ooh, a mail.
A version of the song. Wow.
Somehow the Maki.
Who could have put the very spooky?
It's a very haunted.
It's a very haunted CD.
All right, so do we say now or later that Maki has a magical piano that compositionally just creates every single?
Maki has a MacBook and GarageBand.
Is every Love Live song produced on GarageBand?
Dude, she's got like some ultimate.
Is every Love Live song?
She's rich. She can have some really good GarageBand.
GarageBand Plus. Is every Love Live song produced on Microsoft Paint?
Yeah, we're confirming it right here.
So, is this the episode or is it the next one where Nozomi just gropes the heck out of Maki and like, ooh, they're not ready yet?
I think it's the next one. I think it's the next one because she's like watching them around the corner, like, "Oh, what are they doing? They doing good? You guys doing good?" This is episode 3. Are we on episode 3? Yeah, we're on episode 3.
This is episode 3. We're on episode 3 now.
We're on episode 3. And Maki's like watching them because she's like super curious how they're doing, and then Nozomi comes up and she's like, "Ooh, is this the first confirmed Washi Washi?"
Yes.
I mean, there might have been one in the manga before then, or not manga, but in the magazines. But yeah, this is the first show Washi Washi. This is a pivotal moment in the lore.
Is this also the episode where Umi is like, "Ugh, I'm scared of this short skirt. This short skirt makes me very scared." I think this might be the episode.
Yeah, this is the one where she like freaks out about this, and yeah, it's this one, or maybe it's the second one that she puts on the dress. It's one of the two, but she also freaks out about this one.
And then she also like imagines herself doing love. That's the thing that happens. So she puts on the dress. Remember?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure she puts on the dress and she's like, "Oh, I hate this," and then she has like a fever dream, like she has her own coma. And then she's like,
because there's the time where she's at the archery club, I think in the first episode, where she imagines that. And then there's the time, I think in the third episode, when they're talking to Hanaya.
We're all out of order, dude. What is Love Live? Can we talk
about... There's an episode
where
she's talking to Hanayo, and Hanayo goes into Hanukkah's room, and she opens the door, and Umi's practicing her love arrow shooting there.
Right, I do remember that.
Yeah. And she's talking to the mic.
What, you want to talk about the concert?
Yeah. The saddest concert of all time.
I have a sadder concert. Can we talk about real life experiences?
Oh no. Oh yeah, I know where this is going.
All right, so our friend John. Well, more or less. So I know John in person. It was actually funny. Like I met John through like an anime Facebook group, and like whoops, he turned out to live one town over. He messaged me because I play guitar in real life. He's like, "Hey, you wanna play in a battle of the bands at my college?" I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we got, John backup guitar and vocals, me lead guitar, his friend drum, and his friend's bass, right? And the bassist just never showed up, so we just didn't have a bassist. And we're like, "All right, well, I mean, I guess we can make it work." And then we practiced some weeb songs. Our name was the One Shot Weeaboo. That was a good name. Like I really missed that. And so we show up at the Battle of the Bands. I like invite my family. I'm like, "Oh yeah, the crowd's gonna be great. Come on." We show up. Literally nobody is there. Not a single person other than the other bands that are performing. It is just me, the other bands, and then like my family shows up. Like, oh no, oh no. And the only crowd is my family. And they're like, oh yeah, go Tyler. I'm like, oh God, guys.
Did you guys win?
There was no winning. All right, so the dude just did it to promote his own crappy band, and like, there was no battle of the band. It was in an auditorium, and it was going on the same time. Not an auditorium. It was in a gym, and it was going on the same time.
It was just going on at the same time as a basketball game on the same court.
Yeah, that was going on at the same time as as like the play that's actually been in production forever. So like, there were 1 million people there, but they weren't at our event, and like the concert went well, but like, oh man, that might be sadder than Start Dash. Hey, Start Dash.
No.
Hey.
Start Dash is much sadder.
Yeah, but we didn't get like a record deal and become like champions from our concert. So
they never got a record deal. Come on, that they would have to revoke their amateur status. And then the
I was just gonna say,
are
they student athletes that don't get paid a cent?
That's another episode. Yeah, is Love Live a student athlete? That's deep. So we did a concert and they're hype, man. They've been handing out all these flyers. These people are like, yeah, we'll go, and then like, curtains lift up, there's nobody there.
Except for the aliens.
Except for the aliens. The aliens have been here. Very important. We didn't talk about the aliens.
Shout out to our podcast if you watch that one. Our podcast. Oh my God. Our live stream. Yeah. Our live stream.
So, and nobody's there, and then and Honk starts crying, and you're like, oh no, not like this. Everybody's crying, and then Hanayo comes in. And then Ren follows her, and then they do it, And
I was like, oh Jesus, I'm late.
I'm sorry. She just loves School Idols, dude. And then the music starts, and while the music's playing, while Start Dash starts, like everybody else, you know, all the other members of Muse that become members of Muse, like funnel in. Like Nico, like crouches by a table, you know.
And Nico is a gremlin in the same room.
Yeah, she's a gremlin with a little mask on. Nozomi's outside listening. Ellie's like making one of the aliens real nervous in the music in the audio control room.
Want to talk about Start Dash?
Let's talk about Start Dash.
Hey, Start Dash.
So because we're going to be doing the song again next week, we're not going to go over vocals too much, except for the thing that you were going to say. What were you going to say?
Yes. So yeah, we're just going to mainly focus on backing this time because, you know, we get to hear the song twice. It's I mean, if there's any song to hear twice in the first season of the show, I'm happy it's this one. But anyway, I did want to mention that Kotori's voice is 100% an acquired taste, right? I remember I was like, when I was getting into Love Live and I was like getting into Muse, I was talking to Luca, I was like, so yeah, Kotori's voice, huh? And he's like, yeah, what about it? And I'm like, it's, she's like a harmonizer, right? And you're like, no, not really. And I was like, so her voice is just like always like high pitched like this and she always sings like this? And you're like, yep. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I ended up growing to love it, but like, in a song where it's just the second years, Kotori's voice can seem like really overbearing at sometimes if you're not used to it. I really like it, like now that I'm like way deep into idol hell, but like when I first listened to the song I was like, oh, you know, but not anymore.
Yeah, especially in a song where Umi doesn't really take the reins really strongly. I think Kotori stands out really easily in this song, which is cool because it is just the three of them. And Kotori doesn't get a lot of limelight throughout all of Love Live, except for she gets a lot in this song particularly. She does those little flappy boys.
Flappy boys, yeah, like the crossed arm, like bop, 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 like, you know, hungry birds.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of hungry birds, can we mention this one lyric? Even newborn baby birds will someday soar through the sky. They'll fly with great strong wings. Top 10 saddest anime deaths.
Ooh, remember that one for a couple of months.
Yeah, it'll be a while before we get there, but talking about baby birds, that hits us pretty hard. We'll get there.
I really like the backing in the song. It's my favorite part. I don't think vocally it's very sensate. I don't think it's like this masterpiece vocally. It's kind of cool for Kotori to get a lot of time. But I love the piano in this song. It's so gentle, yet at times it's very gentle. We were just talking about how we don't like how hype things are in Susume Tomorrow and then how quiet they get. I think the difference here is in the chorus it's still very exciting. It's very high energy. But even in the verse, it's still high energy, but it's slower. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I think a lot of that comes from the drums. Like, we kind of get, like, this constant, like, backing of, like, don't worry, like, we're still here. Like, this is just, like it just feels like all the hype is dropped in Susume Tomorrow. But, like, meanwhile, in this song, it's like, it's like, okay, the hype is still there. And then, like, especially after, what is the exact lyric? The last thing Kotori says, to boo bang, and then you just get like smacked with instruments real quick to like remind you like, hey, we're still here.
Someone dropped their pots and pans and they just decided to put that in.
So I mean, like, this is another case where it's like, I remember we were talking about this with Bora Ora versus with Yujo no Change versus Baby Maybe Koi no Button. How they're like the same thing except one just executes it better than the other one. How it's like these are just like standard like J-pop backings, but one is exciting and one is boring. You know?
Yeah, and I think it does come back to there's something there to lift this song up. While really in Susume Tomorrow, there's nothing to lift it up. You know, there's no bass, there's no bass, right? There's no floor, you know, for it to stand on.
I thought you meant like literal bass.
No, I do mean bass. Like there's no bass, you know. But in this song, where all the instruments are there for a floor for the song to stand on, for a bass, for foundation, you know, bass, you know, and bass
and
bass.
I do get like a weird like 80s vibe from the chorus. Not so much the verse, but like it just seems like really like 80s rock almost. I don't really know how to describe it or even like what to tell you. Like it's just na 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 na. It just seems like really just like kick snare like na 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 na, and it's just I feel the 80s, dude. I don't know, like I'm not like the biggest 80s fan, but like
you're from the 80s, so like
yeah,
you're back in your heyday.
Who remembers when I was born 10 years earlier than I actually was? Yeah.
Bring me back. I think there's a lot of parts of the song that I like. I do really enjoy this song. It's pretty like in the middle of my favorite songs list, but that's fine because the top 3/4 are all like my favorite song.
Is this the new benchmark? Like, yeah, this song plays 73rd.
Yeah, I mean 73rd's pretty good. I love the choreography in the song, whether it be live or in the anime. I like the little circle they get in. They do a little spin.
I like the Kotori hands.
Very slow boy spin. No, the Kotori hands are real good. Umi does it also.
You know, top 10 hands of Love Live. With the Kotori hands, we got
top 10. That's a bonus episode.
1-2 jump hands.
Yeah, that's a side episode right there. And I like how when Hanukkah runs forward and probably accidentally almost trips and falls on her face. That's good stuff.
You know, thanks to her coma, she's able to keep balance. Like this is not how this is not how it's supposed to go. Luke and I have had like a stupid joke for a while, and by we I mean me, like saying like, oh hey, hey, and then Luke's like, what? And I'm like, hey, start dash, and he's like, all right, you can go.
It's usually one hey, and then he goes into hey, start dash. I'm just like, okay, that's fine, I guess.
It's the least funny thing ever, but it still manages to happen sometimes. I think that's about as much as we can say for now. Like, I don't want to go crazy with this song because we're literally going to be talking about it next week with a special guest, mind you. So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
What? Was I not supposed to say anything?
Now.
Oh, you knew.
Now we get to get into arguably my favorite episode of the first season. This is hype. You get the Maki Rin Pana. And if you didn't guess by the title, that's the Maki Rin Hanayo episode.
The Maki Rin Pana episode.
Yeah, if you can figure that one out.
So, I really do like the character archetype that is Hanayo. Can we talk about just Hanayo real quick? Like, Hanayo is the everyday... Like, she even looks like it. Like, the everyday, like, audience insert, like, this is you character. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm just a normal person. Whatever, you know, like, who just has a friend that they hang out with, and they're just so normal in every way, but it's like, oh, the moral of the episode is like, yeah, of course you can do it, you know? And I really like that. It's like Hanamaru is that character too for Sunshine, where it's just like, hey, normal person like you too can accomplish your dreams, and it's like, wow, great. But yeah, I just wanted to intro with that because this is really the first time I get to see like Hanayo in action.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of Hanayo this episode. You've seen you've seen her, but you didn't really get to know her until now. And like this is when, you know, Maki and the gang, or Maki and Rin and Hanayo, you know, first kind of meet. And, you know,
sorry,
Maki forgets her, like, wallet at home or whatever. Or wallet at school. Yeah, wallet at home. Hanayo finds her wallet at her home and is like,
I'm going to take it to Maki's home.
I will take it to school and then to Maki's home. So she finds it at, like, the school. She has to go over to Maki's house. And this is the most legendary ever, dude. This is when she bumps her knee on the coffee table.
Yeah?
And it all comes tumbling down. Yeah, dude, she dies. She gets into a coma too.
We got like 4 people in comas, dude. Like, this is
4, pretty much the same number.
Yeah, what was Lantis thinking, dude?
Dude, yeah, putting all these people in comas.
All right.
We also get Maki Mom.
We do get Maki Mom, who I haven't read the manga, but apparently she's the worst in the manga.
No, that's in School Idol Diary.
Oh.
She's very strict. Very strict mama. Her and Maki dad.
Didn't you say something along the lines of like she got second place in like a piano contest and they're like, wow,
yeah.
Why not first, idiot? Like,
yeah, and they're like, we should take her out. She's not getting first. And I'm like, okay. And as someone that, like, when I was growing up, I was in a lot of competitions and I had a lot of pressure for my family to do well. Like, I can relate. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. That's fine, Maki Mom and Maki Dad. I used to think you were the best mom,
hit me.
But not anymore. We get a lot of Rin. We had just seen Rin making cat noises. Like, remember when she does a hiss in Hanayo's locker?
Yeah, that face is infamous. I think I've used that as a reaction image more than once. Cool thing about Rin is, like, everybody has, like, their own reasons for why they don't want to join her. I was like, oh, I'm bad at everything. I'm not good enough. And then Rin's like, I'm not a girl. That's, like, pretty much what Rin's reasoning was.
I'm very not girly. I'm tomboy.
Yeah, everyone used to make fun of her because she never wore a skirt. Haha, Rin boy. Like, you will never catch me saying that again. I'm making fun of people who said
angry.
That's her whole thing.
You get your first characterization for Rin. She's very, like, she has, like, pretty low self-confidence, you know. She doubts herself, but she's, like, always trying her best to be as energetic as she can, putting a good face forward, you know. Even though she's, like, she doubts herself a lot, and she's like, I can't be a school idol. But Hanayo, she cares about her friends. And she's like, Hanayo, you got to go do it. And then I love the scene where Maki and Rin on the rooftop are both, like, yelling back and forth about why Hanayo should actually join, you know?
Yeah, and they, like, fight each other about it.
Yeah, they fight each other about why Hanayo should join. I love that.
The Maki has her own reasons too, because she wants to inherit the hospital and be rich girl too, but she probably has to study medicine and stop music. So she's like, I can't be a school idol. I gotta be a doctor, you know?
I gotta be doctor boy. Girl.
Yeah.
Boy, girl. But in the end, it all ends pretty well. Like, it's a pretty sentimental moment when they push Hanayo forward. You know, it plays into an episode in season 2, like arguably the best episode in season 2.
Yeah, and Maki helps Hanayo like actually speak loud and not just be mouse girl.
Yeah, not just be little mouse girl. She just like, come on, shout it out.
And then Maki and Ren show up. They're like, make it 9. And then they join.
Make it 9. Well, no. And then Umi and Kotori like extend themselves out there. Like, yeah, you can be part also.
Yeah, who cares about quality control at this point? We're already 17 members in. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, everybody can join now. Yeah.
I mean, everybody does join in season 1 of Sunshine. Come on.
Can I talk about this? Like, I thought about this in the past. Like, what if a member joins and they're just like total like suck? Like, they're just bad at everything.
That's not the point.
No, but
You're
like
missing the point.
The reason they're so successful is because everyone is just so naturally good at everything.
You're missing the point.
Hanayo and Rin, I mean, maybe it's like stated in like their Dengeki like introduction things, but like I don't think they've had any like former vocal training or dancing.
All right, you know what? I'll tell you what happens.
Is this the coma magic? Never mind.
I'll tell you what happens when someone joins and they're bad. You get episode 5, Nico attacks. And so they've been practicing on the roof for the last 4 years, right?
Yeah, for the last 4 years.
I think it's raining, and they're like, and Rin's like, it's fine. We'll just go practice in the rain anyways, and then she dies. So they're down to 5 men.
No, Rin does the coolest thing. She like slips around and just becomes like a waterbender or something like that. That's cool.
And then she like stops in the middle of the roof, and then she dies because the rain starts again.
Right. And all right, so that's the 4 people in comas now.
Yeah, 4 people in comas. We're stacking them up. And then Honk's like, oh, we can just like get a club room. Well, there's already a club room for idol stuff, and it's ran by the infamous
Gremlin character.
Pretty sure at the beginning of this one is when Nico also murders Hanukkah, so she's in her second coma, a coma inside a coma.
Double coma, dude. This is
double
comaception.
So throughout this episode, they're just like trying to convince Nico to join them.
Oh, we forgot the part where they're just like confronted by Mystery Girl as they're hanging out. They're like, "Hello, don't be idols anymore, idiots. Break up," and then just runs away. And then
that's after she kills Hanukkah.
Yeah, and then they go get food. They're like, "Oh, who is this? Who is this gremlin?" And then she steals their food and then says,
"With poop head."
Right, yes. And then she insults their lack of professionalism as she was stealing their food.
Stealing their food. No bigger shame in life than stealing another person's food and getting caught. That's the important part.
Nico, much like Hanayo, is just the biggest school idol geek of all time. And like she set the bar too high for her own personal idol group, and I guess speaking of before, I guess they weren't good enough and didn't have professional voice training and weren't professional dancers, so everyone's like, hey, you're crazy. And then they just left, and then everything fell apart.
What if Nico was the one that didn't have any of that, and they were so upset that they had to listen to her? What about that?
Yeah, they're like, hello, we are professional grade dancers, and you are a gremlin, so what are you doing?
Number 1 idol in the universe, excuse you. So, eventually they get Nico to join the group, obviously, like we've probably all seen. It's a very nice little moment. They're like, Nico is Presidente. Oh, also, most importantly, we get Nico Ni.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if this is the first Nico Ni.
Yeah, it
I'm not positive on this one.
No, I'm 100% positive. I've never been wrong about anything in my life.
Oh, yeah.
When Nico finally lets them in, but she's got the Band-Aid on her nose and she's like very mad. She's like, you guys all suck at being school idols. You guys don't even have a persona. And then they're like, what are you talking about? And then she takes out a card and crushes it with her hand and she's like, persona, and it's Nico Ni.
Who remembers that part?
Yeah, who remembers that part? No, that's the part where Nico's like, you gotta have a catchphrase and everything, and she shows him the Nico Ni. You know?
That was the most drained Nico Ni I've ever heard in my life.
Like, I had a long day at work.
Someone was like holding a gun to your head, like, hey, just say Nico Ni.
Dude, I had a long day at work. Come on.
So, after some thinking, Honoka comes up with the idea that they should all join the Idol Research Club. And Nico's like...
That is what happens.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey Nico, like, you're a gremlin, and this is essentially dangling like keys over your head like a baby. Do you want to be our coach? Just so you know, like, I don't think Nico realized she's being blatantly used, but I mean, hey.
We need a room.
Yeah.
And then they go practice on the roof anyways, like a bunch of idiots. Like, they just did nothing. They just accomplished nothing. But They do accomplish a lot in the next episode.
Who
That's
will
at
be
6.
the center? Whomst will be the center? Is this the video episode? This I think.
Video episode.
I'm pretty sure this is the filming episode.
Oh yeah.
Where they yeah. Is this the moving picture episode?
Is this the movie? Is this the anime episode? I really like in this episode throughout, like when they're trying to figure out challenges for who the leader, who the center is. They're like running around doing the challenges, and I'm pretty sure it's Yuja No Change is playing in the background of like the
arcade, right?
They go play
Yeah.
at. Yeah. I think that's a neat little throw in. They just toss that one in for the fans.
Yeah. And then Nico, like, I like this whole episode. I was like, all right, we need a leader. And then Nico was like, oh, it's me. And then just Nico is the worst at every possible thing.
Well, she's pretty average at everything. And, like, that's the issue. Everybody comes out, like, to be about the same.
Like, almost the exact same score for everything averaged.
Yeah. And I like the part, we got a big continuity error in this one, because they're talking about, like, who scored the best at what. And Hanayo scores the best at singing. Yeah, we got an issue with this episode.
Oh, that's horrible.
Am I wrong?
Oh my God, you're the worst.
Yeah.
This is the coma effect. I almost said the tumor effect.
This is the coma effect. Yeah, this is the coma really kicking in.
A world,
it's got a great voice.
In a world where Anime Hanayo actually sings good, if not better than anybody else. No, I take that back. Anime Hanayo sounds great. Oh God, please don't discredit me.
So they spend all this time like coming up with who's the leader, and I think they do decide on somebody, and they go up to practice on the roof, and it's just definitely not. Maybe they don't. No, they don't. They don't. And then they go up to the roof to practice, and psych, it was Hanukkah all along, because she has the drive to push forward. She's leader Chan. She is the best leader Chan.
And then
when was the last time? No, hold up. When was the last time you heard someone say psych? I just said that.
Today. I have a friend named Mike. Not the Mike that I always mention on the podcast, a different Mike. We were playing some Melee, and I was winning. I won every single game except the last one. And then and then he beat me. He's like, "Ha! I beat you. You're so bad." And then he like under his breath, I got psych. So today, actually.
Wow, that's insane. Anywho, so we get a song at the end of the episode.
As the girls complete their new music video for Korekara no Someday.
Yeah, the Music Boys.
Alright, Korekara no Someday, here it is.
私たちの想いが集まればなんとかなるかも小さな力だけど育てたい夢があるわからないことだらけ時計手に地図なんて持ってない少しずつでもいいんだね胸張って進もうよつまずいたらどうする笑ってみる笑顔でワイワイワイ大丈夫飾らずに素直な声で One, two, three, four みんなこっちで Sunday is の日が叶うよ願いが Sunday is の日が届くと信じようそんないでなんかいられないよだってさ楽しみはまだまだまだまだこれから
This is a very haunted Halloween song. Ooh. So throughout the last episode, they've been like, Nozomi's been talking to them about how they should record a music video and stuff with this camcorder. So they decided to record a music video during the Halloween festival. I guess, I don't know, is it the Autumn Festival or Halloween Festival? I'm not sure how it works in Japan.
Aren't they all dressed up and stuff? I'm pretty sure it's Halloween.
Yeah, but like, it might just be called the Autumn Festival. I don't know. I don't live in Japan. I live in Alaska. I guess I'm closer to Japan than you are. But why do I not know? I think the song's got a pretty like neat backing. I know you're talking about how you're not a huge fan, but I think like the backing's pretty cool at parts. I really like the guitar solo that's near the end. Between the
it's really interesting. I like the I don't know what the exact technique is called, but what you do is you bend a lower string to match the sound of the string above it. So it starts from two different notes, and then they both end up being the same note, and it's a really cool effect. I really like that a lot. It's actually kind of difficult. So yeah, that's a neat addition.
Mm-hmm. And I like the I know you're not a big fan of it, but I'm a fan of random screaming in Love Live songs. So you got a lot of that in this one. You got the why's, you know, and then
that's not bad. I'm talking about like in the instrumental break where it just breaks into just utter just calamity and just everybody is screaming. Like, okay, listen, am I biased as a native English speaker who only knows very basic Japanese? Yes. Would I probably like this more if I understood what they were saying? Yes. Does it matter considering this is my opinion? No, I don't like it.
I definitely think this is on like the lower end of show songs, but I think it's got a lot of like nice little highlights. I really like the solos that we get from each one of the girls. I really like the video part of the song, right? The action in the show. I'm a huge fan. I think it's just adorable when they're strutting around. All the gays
when they're
are
just
together,
perusing around, just being in their costumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the gays are together. Hanukkah's by herself because she's got a harem. I love that part of it. I think they're incredibly cute. I'm a big fan of the outfits are so adorable. Have you seen Rin's outfit? I'm sure you have. But if you haven't,
Rin is like a little cat. I mean, like Rin's always a cat, but like she has like a little blue like tuxedo thing.
She got a tail. Like, come on, underrated outfit. Super underrated outfit.
This is a pretty good outfit.
And too bad they didn't wear it live because this was always a cart song that all 9 of them sang. Feels bad.
Oh yeah, right. I guess they did. Just all 9 of them.
I don't know if this was ever not a cart song. I'm pretty sure it was always a cart song, and I don't know if the other 2 actually did sing. Obviously, they didn't sing during the parts where like the solos, but they probably sang during the chorus, like Kusin and Nanjo. Like I haven't looked super deep into it, but I'm sure live they were just there on the carts with them. Like I've seen that before.
This is all based on Alice in Wonderland, so this is like technically the first Alice in Wonderland set, I think. Actually, Ellie and Nozomi were in matching outfits during the thing. Like they got their own like Alice in Wonderland outfits, so like they made up for that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they have cards. In SIF, I can't remember what those 2 look like right now because I'm an idiot. But I'm sure they're good.
I do think it's really cool.
The rest of the outfits, that's good.
I'm really glad they didn't just take the easy way out and just be like, yeah, they don't need it, whatever. Or
they
just
don't get these rares.
Yeah, or even worse, make like Kusin and Nanjo just like, all right, go backstage. Like, what?
go stand in the middle of the crowd for about 3.5-4 minutes while we do the song real quick. Just hang out at the bottom of the stairs on the cart.
Nanjo rode her like little foot evader back. Like.
Her foot evader, yeah. I think this is like a super cute song. I don't think it's anything like super special. But I think like it does a good job of being a song that the 7 of them sing. You know, it introduces you to the 7 like voices pretty easily because this is your first time. If you started with the show, this is your first time getting to hear. Well, I guess you heard a little bit of Maki. You're hearing like Hanayo, Rin.
Yeah, and this song does do a very good job of splitting them up. Like it's very...
you jump right into solos for all the girls, and specifically you jump right into solos for girls you haven't gotten to hear yet. They do Kotori, Umi, and Hanukkah last.
They do Umi first. The girl that they do Umi first though.
They do what? No, they don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do Umi first.
I'm pulling up the sync video. Hold up.
All right. Yep.
They do Umi first. I'm wrong on something for once in my life. The first time. That's
for the first time this episode.
You guys are here to witness history.
Yeah, we got people like taking notes right now of all the times we've been wrong. Actually, Ellie was the first member, and she thought of Muse.
And this makes it the worst song because they don't jump right into the Atlantis. You really blew. Sunrise. You really blew with this one.
Gundam. You really blew.
Gundam. You really blew it with this one. No, I think the song's really cute. I think the biggest takeaway is the outfits and how adorable they are. Like the 7 girls look super cute in them, and you can just think about Nozomi holding the camcorder, and she looks cute in that also. In the camcorder.
I got nothing. I don't know. Like I'm not. I do like the fact like I do really like unique song combinations. So that basically translates to anything that's not subunit or full unit. So this is very unique in the sense that it's just missing 2 girls. And like that's the,
Mermaidos.
yeah, 7 Mermaidos. And this is almost the same thing as what is the name of the song? The Aqua
You
song
May
where they're in the
Something.
boat.
I don't remember
Yeah,
what's
where
that.
they're in the bow outfits. Also not a big fan of that song. But
Holy hell.
yeah, that is. I have a Yoshiko keychain. She's in that
We'll talk
outfit.
about that in a couple of years, though. We'll get there.
Oh yeah, Aqua show songs. Yeah, we got to do Happy Party Train in their next 7 singles first.
Yeah.
But no, I honestly like. I don't want to reach for this song. Like it's a show song. It's a season 1 show song. Like they all fall under the same category for me. Of like, it's listenable, but it could be a lot better. With the exception of a few like Wonder Zone. Did I say Wonder Zone? That's not what I meant. Oh boy. No Brain Girls. Whew, there it is. And
Oh, yeah.
and Start Dash. But other than that, it's just kind of like they're fun, but
Yeah, the only one of these songs I'll skip is Susume Tomorrow. Like, Susume Tomorrow is definitely one of my skips, but other than that, if these songs come on, dude, I'll bool out to them. I'll bool out to one of them really hard, and I can't wait to talk about it next week.
oh yeah,
So in the next episode,
Eddie Chica.
LA Chica,
Ellie
you know,
Chica.
it's like it's gone over very well on the internet. They're a big deal. Ellie's very upset about it because she thinks they're just the worst dancers of all time.
I want to be mad.
You're the worst dancers ever. Nozomi, why are you helping them?
Like the most angry smile of all time. Like
I'm having so much fun running this school. And that's when we learn about Love Live, the name of the series, dude. We learn about the competition, Love
oh
Live.
yeah, that's right. Talk about the name of this episode. Hey, perks of dating a Russian girlfriend. I get Russian lessons. Chka it's like spelled like CHKA, and that's you tack that onto any word and it makes it cute. That's how that works.
Ellie's
I'm
pretty
serious.
cute.
So like, my girlfriend's name is
She's cute and clever.
yeah, cute and clever. Her girlfriend. Her name is Karina, and like if you want to be Russian and call her like her name but cute, you'd say Karinchka. So that's kind of like the same thing here with Edichka. So there's your Russian lesson for the day. But you didn't expect that from this podcast.
So and they get
Edichka.
so and they enter themselves in Love Live, you know. And then Ellie's like, "You guys are just the worst dancers of all time," and they can.
Are you
and
guys
they like,
even trying?
"You guys even trying? You guys are trying to save the school, but you're not even trying. You suck." And I think this is the moment where we learn that she was the one that recorded Start Dash and posted it online. And she's like, "You guys are just the worst. Please just end it. Just end it all." And they're like, "Yeah, but what about you? But coaching us?" And she's
Yeah.
like,
What if Muse but stronger?
And I think that the best part of this episode is everything with the exams, like having to pass. We get one of the few like this is season 1 Washi Washi, probably number 2 or 3. We get a big boy Washi Washi on Miko when she's trying
That's
to get
like
out
a
of doing
whole
her
thing we didn't even talk about yet. This whole episode is just like, hello, no school idols unless you have good grades. And everyone's like, oh, that's not a problem. Except for Honoka, Rin, and Nico, who are like, oh
Yeah.
boy, this is a big problem.
The Baka trio, dude. Day 1. This is Baka trio day 1.
Oh yeah, huh? I guess it is.
Yeah.
I never really put the Banjo-Kazooie jigsaw puzzle pieces together here real quick.
Wow.
I'm playing
And then
through Banjo-Kazooie 1. It's a good game. I like it. Yeah, so going back to Ellie, she's like, yeah, everyone sucks. Like, literally everybody, including Arise. Like,
Yeah, even Arise doesn't sing good.
doesn't dance good.
Dance good.
But we get Nozomi's. We get Ellie's whole thing of like, everything is just broken dreams, dude. This is the most elaborate coma of all time. Elliot's like, I wanted to be a professional ballerina, so I was like a good dancer, and now like it literally pains me to watch you guys because I'm so good.
Because I am so elite. Dude, she's the first Love Live elitist.
Can we talk about how cool Umi is though? Like Umi was the one to be like, hey, listen, Suka.
Can we talk about how good the scene is? I think it's in this episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. But when Ellie's little sister, she's like, "Hey, go get us some tea or coffee."
And she gets some like
she runs
soup
off
or something.
and gets soup. And she gets soup. She's like, "Hey, I got this at the soup store."
Why are you buying tea at the soup store?
She's like, "I got this at the soup store, guys." And she's like, "No. And then Ellie's like, "No. This is soup. Go get us tea." And she's like, "Okay." And then like after Umi leaves, she comes back with more, and it's just more soup. She just gets them more soup instead of coffee or tea. It's so good.
We talk about Umi now. Jesus. So Umi is the one who, instead of being like determined, so Umi's in like full school idol mode now, right? Like the bad times have passed. Umi is into this. Umi is devoted, and she's like, "Hello, Ellie." Like, and this is during the soup scene. It's like, please, just teach us. Teach us how to not be scrub lords. Teach us how to beat a rise, and join our group. And then, and then like, kind of like the next thing we see is like everyone finishes the exam, and then Honoka's like, "Cha-cha," and surprise, everyone did good. Like, everyone gets back, and they're like waiting for Honoka. Like, oh, if this did not just pass, like. I'm
a slapper.
I'm about to break.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! We got a spoiler alert right here. She passes.
No, she passes.
So overall, pretty good episode. I think this episode's like super enjoyable. It's got some good goofs. It's got some good gaffes. It's got some good Ellie time. Our first real Ellie time. Ellie throughout the first 6 episodes
where
has
Ellie
just been mad.
wasn't just being like, just like a massive like thunder. Never mind. Just being like mad. She's mad. That's
and
it.
Nozomi had just been like, "Hey, can we chill here?" Like that was their characters in the first like 6 episodes. It's great. So, I guess we'll have to wait.
That kind of like that
Till
pretty
next
much
week.
wraps up 1 through 7, right? That actually went a lot better than I thought. Like I full disclosure, I was kind of worried. Like I was like, I hope we like got enough to talk about here. And then meanwhile, we're like, did you see the aliens?
Yeah, it turns out we got 7 episodes worth of stuff to talk about. Crazy how nature do that.
Crazy how comas do that.
Yeah. So next week, we're going to go over the next, 6 episodes? 7 episodes? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, did I just count that on my fingers? Oh, that's pretty impressive. So 6 episodes. We'll finish up the first season. We'll talk about it. And we'll talk about the 3 songs that happen in it. So Wonder Zone, No Brand Girls. We'll hit on Bora Ora and we'll mention that they do that. Next week we'll mention it.
We'll mention that the song happens.
and Start Dash Big Boy Edition. And we're going to have a special guest on next week.
We are going to have a special guest. That is going to be, can we say it?
Sure.
It's going to be Jonah from
Our boy
another
Jonah.
Love Live page that ironically insults Love Live. That is a great Facebook page, and you should go follow that right
go
now.
follow
if you
the
haven't.
page, get into the group. Another Love Live group that ironically streams Love Live, I think what is it called?
It's maybe unironically streams Love Live.
Yeah, maybe. Ironically or unironically, one of the two. And it's just like super quality. Like they post some good memes on that page, and Jonah's like
it's ironically again. Sorry.
He's like the guy who got me into Umis because of all the Umi he posted. So shout out to the boy. Really excited.
Jonah's
to have
like
him
a
on next
super
week.
good guy. Like honestly, like one of the more genuine people I know in my life. Who's just like a super good person, and he's a cool guy and he really knows his stuff. And we were like, we sent him the episode list and we're like, all right, friendo, pick an episode. He's like, well, I know everyone likes Sunshine, but I really like SIP, so I want to be on this episode and we can talk about it. I'm like, all right, cool. Like
Locked in. Stamped
works
in.
out for me. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen next week. You wanna move on to our question? What is the out of all these 13 episodes, we did not get to the other ones yet. I figure episodes will be easier to remember than songs, which we before we go over them. So we're gonna do episodes first, since we didn't get through all the episodes. Of all the episodes of the first season, which one is your favorite? There's a lot to choose from. Don't pick second season yet or Sunshine, because they will definitely get their own time. So we're
Don't
gonna go
do it
with
or
the
else
first
you're
season.
banned. Don't
Yeah,
try
you are
us.
banned from the page.
We will ban you.
I'm gonna go first. I always tell you to go first, but I'm going first this time. My favorite episode is No Upperclassmen Allowed, and that is the episode right after Nozomi and Eri Chiga join, right? Wait, it might be like 2 episodes after. Wait, I think it is 2 episodes
banned?
after. Yeah,
Banned? Banned. You're banned.
So this is like the episode where they really hammer in your face that Maki is just rich as hell and has like her own Santa beach house. We'll talk about this episode more as we get there, but I'm really a big fan of like the whole like it's not so apparent to me, and I'm sure it isn't for a lot of viewers, like the big divide between upperclassmen and underclassmen in Japanese schools, and like the whole episode is just like, please don't call me senpai, or like Eddie-san, or whatever they called her, but they're just like, please just call me Ellie. And that was like the whole big thing of the episode, like, please, I am not your upperclassman right now, I am your I almost said teammate, what are we?
I know 2 episodes I wanted you to die, but now we're cool. We're Gucci now.
So we got like, it's just the first beach episode? It is. I know for a fact that there are supersonic pillows in this episode.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Like, and Nozomi is like, hey, Maki, I'm gonna help you become more social. Hey, everybody, Maki starts this pillow fight.
Top 10
and then
anime fights.
Umi gets out and like pulls out her Glock, like she actually is like actually ready to murder everybody, and just like Rin and Hanayo are scared for their lives, even despite the fact that they're just imaginary and Honoka is still in a coma. It is a good episode. Luke, what's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode from season 1 of the anime is episode 4, Maki Renpana. I adore this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes from all of SIP. I think it's just like, I like that emotional, when the show gets the emotional little tug on the heartstring, like that gets me, you know. I think this episode's got really, I like that part at the end. I like how Happy Party Train plays. When they're pushing Hanayo away, there's this little chord there that sounds just like in Happy Party.
Happy Party Train. Oh, we didn't even say it. It is the same thing. When we were watching it for the first time, I was like, pause this, and then we put on Happy Party Train. What part is it? It's like
it's when Maki pushes Maki and then pushes.
No, what part of Happy Party Train is it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't listened to the song in like 4 months.
It's there. Go listen to that, and then like at the very emotional scene at the end, it's Happy Party Train. It is literally Happy Party Train.
Anywho, and then we got I really like the little bit of Maki stuff we get. I like the world's biggest uhe. I'm very bad at those, but that's the charm in it. You know, that's the charisma in it. Being bad at it, that's a good thing. That's fine.
I'm bad and it's cute.
Yeah. So I really enjoy that episode. I think it's got some really good parts. It's got one of my favorite Hanayo arcs, arguably the only Hanayo arc. I guess it's the Hanayo episode.
Probably. I mean, like we get like little glimpses of like Hanayo just being the biggest nerd of all time with School Idols, but other than that, this is like her big like development episode.
Yeah, and I really like how we get a lot of Rin. Rin's one of my favorite characters from the anime. So and it really builds up towards the Rin in season 2 that we get to see in her episode, where she has her transformation scene. So I like that episode a lot.
So keep an eye out tomorrow for our second bonus episode of this week, where we talk about the big announcements. That's pretty hype, would you say?
Yeah, I'm really excited for all this stuff. I'm really excited to tell you guys about how I feel about all this stuff.
So, you know, if you thought this episode was kind of like all over the place, it was weird, it's because it was. It's all over the place. But that's kind of the point of episodes. We just kind of wanted to... that's kind of the point of the podcast. No, we just wanted to take like these few episodes, and we're going to do it for Sunshine and season 2 as well, to just kind of just chill, have like a nice episode discussion. Like, yeah, of course we analyze songs, but it's just, you know, it's a little bit more casual than we're used to, you know? And I kind of like that. It's a nice little break.
Yeah, we're being a little cash boys. We're just having fun talking about a show we like, you know? So
yeah, stick around for next time for the Evangelion in-depth ending discussion.
Yeah. We'll get into some theories. Yui is Lilith. So if you got an episode that's your favorite in season 1, let us know down below. We'll check it out, and maybe have you in the next episode. We'll comment on your comment, if you will. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below in the description. And leave a like, comment, and a subscribe.
Oh, I forgot to say. As of the last episode, I've started putting
MP3 download down below,
MP3 downloads in the description. So as you may have noticed, we kind of phased SoundCloud out because we're not about to pay for premium. So sorry about that. And to make up for it, Sayonara, the SoundCloud song. So to make up for that, we just have MP3 downloads. So if you're not a fan of wasting data, you can instead waste phone space. So
strictly better.
Choose the lesser.
So
of two
and the next week
here.
we'll be back next week, and we'll have our boy Jonah on. So get excited for that one.
Yep. All right, that's about it. See you later, guys. Hope you go on.